We now take you live to Ministry of External Affairs press conference.
Secretary in the Eastern Southern Africa Division, Sri Janesh Ken. With that, first I will invite Secretary South to give you an overview as to what lies ahead on Prime Minister's upcoming visit to Jordan and Ethiopia. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Randhir. Namaskar, good evening, and thanks for your presence here. Let me begin with the Jordan leg first. At the invitation of His Majesty King Abdullah II bin Al Hussein, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will embark on a bilateral visit to the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan from December 15 to 16, 2025. This will be Prime Minister's first full-fledged bilateral visit to Jordan, which is coinciding with the 75th year of establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Jordan. Some of you may recall earlier Prime Minister Shri Modi had transited through Jordan in February 2018 while on his way to the state of Palestine. Even though it was a transit visit, exceptional courtesies were accorded to him by His Majesty the King, making it more than just a transit visit. The current full bilateral visit is taking place after an interval of 37 years. India and Jordan share warm and friendly relations marked by mutual trust and goodwill. The relationship spans across sectors including political, economic, defense, and strong people-to-people ties. Our bilateral relations are marked by strong understanding at the leadership level. Since the last visit of His Majesty in 2018, both the leaders have met 4 times, with the latest being on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Italy in June 2024. The leaders are in touch with each other telephonically as well, and both the leaders also spoke recently in April 2025 after the ghastly Pahalgam terror attacks, during which His Majesty condemned the terror attacks and said that terrorism should be rejected in all its forms and manifestations. His Majesty also reiterated his support for India's fight against terrorism, and both countries have cooperated in counter-terrorism, including by India's participation in the initiatives launched by His Majesty, such as the Aqaba process. India and Jordan also share strong economic ties, with India being the 3rd largest trading partner of Jordan, and the bilateral trade between the two countries is valued at $2.8 billion. Jordan is also a leading supplier of fertilizers for us, particularly phosphates and potash. There is also a joint venture named Jordan India Fertilizer Company JIFCO, with an investment of $860 million between IFCO of India and Jordan Phosphates Mines Company JPMC of Jordan. In the field of investment, there are around 15 government companies with an investment of $500 million located in the qualified industrial zones of Jordan. Jordan is home to a vibrant Indian diaspora of over 17,500 who are employed in different sectors such as textiles, construction, manufacturing, and others. As regards connectivity, Royal Jordanian has recently started direct flights between Amman and Mumbai and plans to expand their operations to New Delhi. Jordan provides tourist visa on arrival to Indian tourists and have recently started electronic visa. As regards the program of the visit, Prime Minister will arrive in Amman on 15th of December. On the same day, he'll meet His Majesty King Abdullah II for a one-on-one talk, to be followed by delegation-level talks. On the next day, Prime Minister and the King are expected to address the India-Jordan business event, to be attended by leading businessmen from both sides. Prime Minister will also interact with the vibrant Indian community in Jordan, and along with Crown Prince, Prime Minister will visit the historic city of Petra, a city which shares ancient trade linkages with India, weather permitting of course. From there, he'll emplain for the second leg of the visit, that is Ethiopia. As regards Ethiopia, the dates are 16th to 17th of December 2025. It's the state visit to Ethiopia. It's at the invitation of the Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, and this is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister since 2011. Ethiopia is an important and trusted partner in the global south and the African context. The Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has been a prominent participant and key speaker during the past editions of the Voice of Global South. The current visit reflects India's commitment towards deepening South-South cooperation and strengthening of partnership with Africa. The visit will also help consolidate cooperation across a broad spectrum of areas, including economy, trade, culture, and people-to-people contacts. On the economic front, discussions are expected to focus on diversifying trade, enhancing connectivity, and identifying new opportunities for investment in infrastructure, IT, mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. India and Ethiopia share a long history of partnership in the sector of education, skilling, and capacity building. India has been offering scholarship and training opportunities to Ethiopian students and professionals through ITEC and ICCR scholarships. Here it is worth mentioning that several of the presidents or vice presidents, which are equivalent to vice chancellors or registrars of Indian universities, in Ethiopia, they have studied in India under ICCR and other government-sponsored scholarship schemes. So therefore, ITEC continues to be a vital platform for skill upgradation and reskilling for human resource development in Ethiopia. Climate action will be another important pillar of cooperation. India continues to support Ethiopia's renewable energy initiatives through the International Solar Alliance, and International Solar Alliance engagement in Ethiopia has progressed substantially with several initiatives such as the establishment of Solar Technology Application Resource Center or STARC at Addis Ababa University, also completion of Ethiopia's first ever grid connected solar rooftop, and many other such activities. As regards the program in Ethiopia, the Prime Minister will have one-on-one and delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed. There will be an address to the joint session of the Parliament by our Prime Minister. There's an interaction with the Indian community and some other activities. The visit will also reinforce the strong role of Indian diaspora in Ethiopia, serving as a natural bridge between the two countries. During the visit of Honorable Prime Minister, a number of MOUs and agreements are expected to be signed. These will strengthen our multifaceted partnership, expand development cooperation, and open new avenues of collaboration between two countries. The visit reaffirms India's role as a trusted and long-term partner for Ethiopia. India remains committed to working with Ethiopia to build a stable, secure, and inclusive global order, and in advancing Africa's priorities in line with Agenda 2063 and common global objectives. We feel that the upcoming visit is expected to give renewed momentum to bilateral ties and chart new pathways for cooperation in the years ahead. I shall stop here and take a few questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Secretary CPB and OIA to brief us on Prime Minister's upcoming visit to Oman. Sir.
Thank you, Randeep. Namaskar and good evening to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure to meet you all and to inform you about the forthcoming visit of the Honorable Prime Minister to Oman. I start off where Secretary South has ended. At the invitation of the head of state of the Sultanate of Oman, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will be visiting Oman on 17 and 18 December 2025. Prime Minister will be accompanied by a high-level delegation. This is the second visit of Prime Minister to the Sultanate of Oman after his last visit in February 2018. It also follows the state visit of His Majesty, the Sultan of Oman, to India in December 2023. This visit is of great significance as it will be taking place when India and Oman are together celebrating the 70th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations. As mentioned earlier, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq paid a state visit to India in December 2023. Prime Minister and His Majesty the Sultan had together agreed on a future roadmap to deepen ties between the two countries. I can inform you that various initiatives have already been taken under this, and also some are under implementation. Friends, India shares a special partnership with the Sultanate of Oman, built on centuries-old contacts and underpinned by trade linkages and people-to-people ties. In modern times, our relationship has evolved into a strategic partnership characterized by robust cooperation in diverse areas. There exists excellent political relations between India and Oman. The frequent visits at the highest level, followed up by ministerial and official level interactions, signify the depth of our bilateral partnership. One of our oldest strategic partners in the Gulf region, India's relations with Oman are all-encompassing and spans diverse fields such as trade and investment, maritime cooperation and connectivity, energy security and green energy, agriculture and food security, health, defense and security, technology and culture. I will briefly delve on some of these areas of bilateral cooperation. Trade and investment relations are a key pillars of our relations with Oman. Our bilateral trade for financial year 2025 stands at US $10.61 billion. Bilateral investment flows have also been robust, as reflected in the numerous joint ventures established both in India and Oman. There are several India-Oman joint ventures present in Oman contributing to the country's economic growth and development. India and Oman have cooperation in the defense sector, which includes joint exercises, training and exchange of visits. In recent years, both countries have cooperated in ensuring maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. Oman has a vibrant Indian community of over 675,000 who call Oman their second home and have made a meaningful contribution to the development of the Omani economy. They serve as a living bridge, uniting our two countries and strengthening our relationship. Coming to the various elements of the visit, Honorable Prime Minister will hold a comprehensive review of the entire spectrum of the bilateral relations with His Majesty the Sultan of Oman, and also exchange perspectives on regional and international issues of mutual interest. He is expected to address business leaders from both the countries at a business forum and also address the Indian community in Oman during the visit. At this stage, I can inform you that a number of documents that are expected to be signed during the visit are in the last stages of their finalization. The areas and other details of these various documents that are expected to be signed will be shared after the visit. In conclusion, I can say that carrying forward from the historic visit of His Majesty the Sultan of Oman to India in 2023, the present visit of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, to Oman will build on the momentum gathered in bilateral relations and further consolidated our strategic ties with Oman in this important 70th year of establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. It will reinforce our strategic partnership, is expected to open new avenues of cooperation, and further strengthen the ties between the people of the two countries. Thank you, and if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you, sir. With that, we open the floor for questions. We can start with MEA here.
Hello, good evening, sir. And my question is about the free trade agreement between Oman and India. Is that agreement formally going to be signed during Prime Minister's visit? And is the Commerce Minister also traveling along with the business delegation that you were talking about?
अखिलेश.
सर, मैं अखिलेश सुमन हूं, डीडी न्यूज से। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जॉर्डन जा रहे हैं। जॉर्डन इजराइल के ठीक बगल में है और गजा में शांति की बात हो रही है। किस तरीके से वहां सुरक्षा दी जाएगी, किस तरीके से रिकंस्ट्रक्शन होगा, इस पे भी बात चल रही है। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का भी प्रस्ताव आया है। तो क्या प्रधानमंत्री जॉर्डन में जब बात करेंगे तो इन मुद्दे पर भी बात करेंगे, अपनी तरफ से भी कोई प्रस्ताव देंगे या उसमें शामिल होने की कोई बात करेंगे?
Okay, Rishabh.
Good evening, sir. Rishabh from Times Now. Sir, Prime Minister is traveling to Oman. There are reports that Oman has agreed to hand over their retired Jaguar fleet to India, which can be used for the spare parts with the fleet that India have for Jaguar. If we can have more details on that.
Siddhant.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir. My question is, both Oman and Jordan are part of the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Grouping. Now, this grouping has been used by Pakistan for its own anti-India propaganda activities. How much the Indian side is going to sensitize both countries over the misuse of OIC and also Pakistan's support to cross-border terrorism?
Ayushi.
Good evening, this is Ayush Shigwal from ANI. During Prime Minister's Ethiopia visit, will there be any discussion on next India-Africa summit?
So, we can take these questions and.
So, let me start with the India-Oman Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. We are all very optimistic about it. The teams from both the sides, we have been working very hard for its early finalization, and we are working towards it. As I mentioned, that several of these documents are still under various stages of finalization and awaiting for approvals of both the sides. So, but we have here immense faith that this agreement, if it is signed during this visit, will significantly deepen the economic ties between India and Oman, and it will open up a new chapter in the history of India-Oman trade and commercial relationship. I'll take the Jordan part too, or I'll move to the other ones. Okay. Now, regarding the recent reports about the handing over of spare parts, now we can inform you that some of the elements of the report were not fully correct. Now, the Royal Air Force of Oman, they used to operate Jaguar jets, but they were then retired from their service some time back. Now, they are having many spares of these aircrafts, which they would be are willing to transfer to us in the near future, and we are expecting that the supplies of those spare parts are likely to come in the coming days. On the Palestine thing you want to address, or Jordan talks? As far as Siddhant, your question is concerned, you see, with Oman and again Jordan, our relationship has its own importance. Whether the leaders, as I mentioned in my talks, they will be discussing regional and international issues of mutual interest. I won't be at this stage be able to tell what all issues will be coming up. Maybe post the visit we will be able to brief you what all are the regional issues that might have come up during the talks of the two leaders.
थैंक यू। आपने प्रश्न किया कि क्या दो आपस में पैलेस्टीन या गाजा पे बात करेंगे। मैं ये तो नहीं जानती जब वो मिलेंगे तो क्या बात करेंगे, लेकिन ऐसा माना जाता है कि जब दो देशों के नेता मिलते हैं तो सभी मुद्दों पे चर्चा होती है, द्विपक्षीय मुद्दों पे भी चर्चा होती है, क्षेत्रीय मुद्दों पे भी चर्चा होती है। तो हमें हो सकता है कि दोनों नेता इन इन मामलों पे चर्चा करें। Regarding the Gaza peace plan, well, we have welcomed the signing of first phase of Gaza peace plan, and you know our position. We also attended the Sharm el Sheikh summit. Our Minister of State for External Affairs had attended, and we generally support any effort towards building lasting and just peace. Thank you. Regarding Ethiopia, Ethiopia, of course, is an important country in Africa. It's part of the African Union. It's actually headquarters of the African Union. We have had some editions of India-Africa Forum Summit in Ethiopia when we had the Banjul formula. I don't know what would be the discussions regarding the forthcoming summit. Yes, but I know that we have been working with our African partners to work on to organize the next edition of India-Africa Forum Summit. So as and when something is concretized, we shall definitely get back to you. Thank you.
So, Yeshi?
This is Yeshi Seli from Business India. My question is on the FTA. One of the roadblocks is, Oman talks about Omanization, where they want to take only their nationals for work, and there's a big Indian community there. So, Levy talks on protecting the interests of Indian labor there. Also, in the wake of sanctions that we have, the US sanctions on oil, are we going to increase our energy imports from Oman to India?
Neeraj?
मेरा सवाल है कि इथियोपिया में भारत 3 बड़े इन्वेस्टर्स में से एफडीआई की अगर बात करें, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात करें, तो क्या भारत इसको और बढ़ाने को लेकर भी आगे देख रहा है इस दौरे के दौरान एफडीआई?
नीरज?
नमस्कार सर, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। सर, जॉर्डन, इथियोपिया और ओमान तीनों ही में चीन की अच्छी वहाँ पर प्रभाव है। वहाँ पर तीनों ही चाइना के बीआरआई के मेंबर भी हैं। तो प्रधानमंत्री की इस यात्रा के ऐसे कौन से महत्वपूर्ण पहलू हैं जो कि इन तीनों देशों की चीन पर निर्भरता कम करने में सहायक होंगे? और दूसरा, इथियोपिया के साथ सर व्यापार असंतुलन बना हुआ है, तो इस यात्रा में क्या उस पर भी कुछ बातचीत होनी है?
We have these questions.
Thank you. As far as Ethiopia is concerned, I think the visit is coming at a significant moment when Ethiopia has embarked on comprehensive economic reforms. They are opening up all key sectors, including the banking sector, their capital markets, etc. So India does seek to align our development cooperation and economic engagement with Ethiopia's priorities, and we definitely would like to explore new avenues for cooperation which are mutually beneficial to both sides. You are very right about our investments. I think in the textile sectors we have huge investments. We have investments in the other sectors. We have over 175 companies present in Ethiopia from India. So there is definitely a scope. Regarding the trade with Ethiopia, we usually, from our side, we export pharmaceuticals. In fact, nearly 40% of all our exports to that country are pharmaceuticals. And from there, we purchase pulses and beans. Right now, the trade volume is about $550 million. So both sides will definitely try to enhance the bilateral trade, both exports and imports to that country. Thank you.
So, as you know, I mentioned about that we have more than 675,000 Indians in Oman, of which nearly 5 lakhs are, a little more than 5 lakhs are Indian workers in Oman. They are, a larger number of them are working in the private sectors. Now, the sectors where our workers are there It's construction, manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, hospitality, transport, logistics, ports and shipping, tourism. So it's a huge list if I keep on mentioning. Yes, Omanization is there, but it is our view that despite the Omanization, which is a policy followed by the government of Oman, it is still anticipated that Oman would continue to employ skilled individuals to support its large infrastructure plans and its sustained economic growth. So we are of the view, and it's our expectation, that the demand would continue in all these sectors, and the Omanese government would continue to employ Indians in these particular sectors and the new and emerging areas that are likely to come in the coming years. Coming to the question on energy cooperation. Now, the traditional hydrocarbon trade with Oman is one of the significant components of our bilateral trade. We are also looking at new avenues of cooperation in green energy and energy security. We import crude oil, petroleum products, and LNG from Oman, and these exports are in substantial quantities, and we also export petroleum products to Oman. So we expect that this hydrocarbon cooperation between India and Oman will continue in the coming years as well.
Thank you.
Regarding our relationship, you see, our relationship, India's relationship with any country, should not be viewed through the prism of a third country. India builds its own relationship with, whether it is Jordan or with Oman, irrespective of whatever is happening between that country's relationship with a third country. So on this same principle, I would suggest that we would continue to develop our bilateral cooperation with Oman as well as Jordan.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press briefing. This visit starts on 15th. We shall keep you updated on each of the legs of the visit